Hello! I'm so excited to be here. I'm at Corin's house and I've just arrived to come and organize her office. She is heading into a new season in her life and today is the day that we get it all organized. So yeah, I've got all my goodies. I'm like a little pack horse when I arrive at a client's house, and let's go and have some fun. Because we haven't met before. Hello Corin! So nice to meet you. Good to meet you. Let's go. So I'm super excited because I haven't seen what the office looks like yet, and I think there's lots for us to go through today, which is going to be really nice and just make Corin's space more organized and feel like she can just work in that space. Okay, so how beautiful is this room?
So it's a bit of a strange shape. As soon as I start in one corner, then I move on to the next corner, and then
I should stop looking at the camera. Hey, this is all new to me. So today's strategy for this space particularly is that we're going to first get out the things that aren't needed in that space, and that's how you already create like a whole, bubble of space to work with. So those are going to go out. Some things are going into the garage. She's got her hubby's camping stuff, so we're going to reorganize that into the more back end cupboard and get that kind of out of the way, because there's this really beautiful cupboard that's got lots of light. So you want to be able to see what you're getting. It kind of sparks joy when you open the cupboard and there's like light in it. And then we really just have to go through one bag at a time. I have absolutely no idea what's inside. Generally, whenever I go to a client's house, there's always like a partner or a sibling or somebody that's like, they're taking up my space. So here we have a classic case of hubby's camping stuff. You're going to just put that into its own little category, which I think he's going to really love because it's all going to just be in one place. So yeah, I'm super excited about being here today. I mean, this home is just so magnificent. That space is just so incredible to work with. I love spaces with arches. Important thing first, before you even start trying to think about shelving and putting things into organized boxes, you just need to get your furniture placed where you want it to go. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start by taking everything out that's not going to be staying in this room. We want real life to keep happening here and for you to feel joy in the space and not feel like, oh my gosh, that wasn't sustainable for me to keep it up. I like to be able to reuse what's in people's homes and just try and find the best container for certain things.
I love this machine.
So just now, Cara and I were chatting about sort of what's going to go into this cupboard, and she was saying that maybe all of her, she often likes to be on the patio and re-sand and cycle furniture, but the garage is a bit far for her, so she just kind of leaves everything in. But she thought maybe to declutter the space it would be better for it to be in the garage. But that's exactly what I was mentioning earlier, that for it to be sustainable, you need to do what works for you, because she is actually just end up with everything back here because it's more convenient, it saves her time. So we'd rather just create a space here for her that is just her place where she comes and grabs everything, so she doesn't have to mission all the way back to the garage. So you see why you can't do that in here, because it just stays here. So you have to take it out, go through it, and then send it to where it needs to go. How beautiful is this? Don't do your organizing and emptying and throwing away in the space that you want it to stay, because you'll get distracted. We just made such beautiful things back in the day, hey?
It's probably being printed in a 3D printer.
Yeah, exactly. But then if it's in the space that you were working in, then it just stays there. Sorry, I like talking. Talk out loud to myself so much. Storage. So even like you get to the point where you start to group your storage. So then you're like, okay, how can we reuse these so that I don't have to go to the shop and buy? Because sometimes people are like, oh, I want me to go to the shop first and buy all those boxes. And I'm like, no. This is also another thing, is people like, do you bring someone to help you? Like how, if somebody else was in here trying to help me, they would just... Because it's like all of my brain. I spend a great deal of time on my own in the beginning doing exactly what you're watching now, with the like organizing and placing things away, and then I get to help them move the furniture around, and if we need some cleaning, and then start putting everything kind of back. So, but yeah, a lot of it I have to do on my own. I love it. Also, just like discerning like between a need and a want. I might just be a friend that says, can I pop around for a coffee? No, I'm sorry, today I am decluttering. me do tomorrow. You just have to like discern like who's getting your yes and what is getting your no. Do a whole video on that, but I think it's such a powerful thing. Like when something is getting your yes, something is getting your no. So if this space is ranking really high on your importance list to get done, everything else is no, being your yes and your no. So this is a really good way of kind of looking at it too. There was a quote that said, I think it was Marie Kondo, for every minute you spend organizing, you save like hours, you know? And even just the fact of going to the shop and like going to buy more pens, like it's right there. You know, and inevitably you'll go to the shop for pens and you'll get a million other things that you didn't need either. That's why it feels very overwhelming, and it's so interesting when I'm with clients that we reach this like peak in the day where it's sort of like, and then it starts to just gotta hang up. I love this. It's called Today's Rant. The level of annoyance: slightly irritated, seeing red, outrage, I am plotting murder. This is where my ADHD becomes a tick. So at the point where it's like, will it fit?
She's in the cupboard.
We're like, oh, these are two storage trays. I'll do the change again.
She's strong.
I love carrying heavy things. How are you feeling?
This is usually the stage of the mountain where I just give up.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you share that with me a little bit more?
Well, I bring everything out and I look at it all, and then I start dealing with some of it, and then something else comes up, and then you move on, and then you come back and it's like, oh no, do I have to start all over
And then you just pop it all back
and you
in.
just shove it all back inside again.
There's this fine line between like we have to make time, we just have to make the time, but also life is happening. Beautiful grandchild arrives, you want to spend time, you know, you want to rather do that. Like it trumps anything. So I totally get it, and again, that's why I think there's such a need for what I do, and it's so nice to be able to come and help people do it, because then it's done, you know.
Yes.
And just a small reminder of where we started. The office was full of all of the things it had always been full of for a while and before Claire got here.
I always say to people, don't look at this like a whole project. Work from corner to corner, but placing your bigger furniture where it needs to go, so we'll decide exactly what feels good for you, because also you need to maintain this space. This needs to be a realistic reorganizing and reclaiming of your space, because when I'm not here, how do you keep it that way? So, you know, it's all good and well having these fancy, I don't even follow all these organizers on Instagram because I feel overwhelmed by like how perfect it is. It's sort of like the game changer point, because now we've going to place furniture where it needs to go, we've created all that space. We've decided that over here there's going to be a beautiful big plant because she's going to be working here. So, you know, we're not going to clutter the space with like, she needed a really nice standing lamp. That's going to just be a really beautiful decor space. And Kara's in with the magic that she's worked in the rest of her home here. The beautiful paintings going up on the wall. And then, so now I've stocked together here everything that we could be using for storage. So that's all empty boxes. I've put everything here that's going to be like arty crafty. We're still working this out, but we're going to be using this for filing, but those chairs just make sense to stay up there, and that's camping stuff that's staying. And then we're going to put it out, and then yeah, and here's kind of all the artwork DIY stuff. So it's working out really nicely.
And like Claire said right at the beginning, everything's gotta go out so that you can clear and have space to move things back to exactly where you want them, to bring your space back to life.
I love cleaning. I so enjoy the process of the actual cleaning part of it too, like not just the organizing. It's kind of like, I don't want to say like spiritual work, that sounds weird. But I find it very fulfilling. Like kind of seeing items come back to life. How many of these do we need? So part of the process.
And maybe one of the most important things to remember is that wherever you put something down can change, Being flexible and allowing yourself to see all of the different options is something you need to be open to.
Are you filming this, Mama? Yeah. This is like something at first for me. I love it.
Upside down set of shelves.
Yes, but this is how clever you are. Oh my gosh, so Cara is so clever because that was not working there. It was just, I'm not a decorator. I always say to my clients, I'm not a decorator, I'm an organizer. But Cara has got an amazing eye. And then she was like, well, let's put it upside down onto the desk. So we put the legs up there, it just fits. And it's sparking so much joy for her.
Absolutely. Love it.
Are you so?
Yeah.
For the space that was overwhelming, sometimes all you need is some help from an expert to get you through it.
And we are going to get through this. So
Reclaiming your space is a reward in and of itself, but you can also reconnect with things long lost.
the time capsule box.
Already looks, yes.
I know, it's amazing how quickly you can go through it. Eh? So I can even put my stickers from my printing thingy on until I know exactly which space they're going in, because sometimes you need to turn the box the other way and then the stickers on the other side. So yeah, top tip, always put this on right at the end. Number 3, so there's time capsule 1, 2 and 3. So this is going to be gifting ready. Kids. There's so much guilt attached to this process as well, because people think like, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I just do this? Like, why can't I just get through all of this? At the core of it, it's not hard. Like, sometimes when I explain some of the things that I do, people are like, oh yeah, but it's just doing it. It's just getting it done is the hard part, because time is so precious and allocated to other things. Start time together and then you're like, it's gonna be okay. It feels a bit overwhelming and hairy while you're doing it, but thank you. Okay. Because I was like, well. So this is what you're gonna like, you put your space now for your filing, which is what you wanted. So I can't wait to see you. Have to send us some pictures. And we've got magic little decor on this awesome shelf, which is so clever. I have put all of your frames, so there were frames sort of hanging around, you put them all into one place. There's the doors with all this nice compact, and yeah, just like spare notebooks, copy stuff. So there's all your paints, like I took the stuff off all the paints. So we can imagine in this space.
Yeah. It's going to be gorgeous. I'm looking forward to it.
So how do you feel about every single space here, hey?
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Thank you for your patience with the process, because I know it's not easy. It's not easy to have like a stranger come to
No,
your
but
home.
it's actually been so helpful because it's actually just like galvanized. It's made it on one day. We have to make it happen.
It's done. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was saying to Barney earlier, is that you just have to allocate a day. And it's so hard to do that when family and people are visiting, but once you've just done it, it's done. And it's for all the minutes that you spend organizing in that one time, you save hours of headspace even. I mean, that mental...
Yeah, it does.
And that was what you shared in your email, right? That you just wanted all of that back. So I hope you do that today. And like I always say at the end of when I'm done something, voila!
And as cheerfully as she had arrived in the early morning light, Claire's work here had begun with a plan and a goal.
So Karen's main goal was regain the space. So being a teacher, she has a lot of stuff that you've got to keep for years. So we managed to save that space for her. And then she wanted to have a section where she can do her studies, which is where that awesome table went, the shelf went upside down. Hey, I'm home with you now. No more cheating on you. Just a wrap up of the day. I'm back at home. Thank you for being with me, V. It's been so nice having you there. I keep thinking how I would feel if I had a stranger come into my home and like help me sort out my stuff. I just find everyone so brave. I think it's such a brave thing to just have me there. So I'm just so grateful for that. It's always such an honor. I never take for granted when someone lets me into their space. Today went really well. We got through it all. Everybody's home is so different. I never really know how much time it's going to take, but today was amazing. I left Karen at the point where I couldn't really do much more, so she needed help with her organizing. And when I left there, I said to her, you know, she was just so grateful, and I don't think we can get that part on camera, but she was just so chuffed that like that was what she needed help with. I think at some point Karen did probably feel a bit anxious, like, because it does, you reach this point where you've taken everything out the room and then there's so much stuff. I think on some level people kind of look around and they're like, where did this all come from, and like how are we going to put it back, and how are we going to make sense of it all. And then sort of like the peak of the mountain, and then like we sort of start to make our way back home. But I think, yeah, when I left there she was much more relaxed. So my goal is to always leave my clients feeling like, you know, are you sure, like I can leave now, and do you need me to carry anything for you? And yeah, so she was amazing.